Hi guys, okay, so today I'm going to show you how to fabricate a chicken. I think this is a great skill to learn, especially since I teach high school students. Knowing how to fabricate a chicken could really help you save some money in the long run. College students starving, have a chicken, cut it up into its pieces and you'll have food all week, right? So first I'm gonna just tell you about knives. This is a chef's knife and this is a boning knife. So I'm gonna use a boning knife to fabricate this chicken because with a boning knife, it gives you a flexible blade. It's obviously smaller than a chef's knife, so it's easier to handle when you're trying to get into the crevices of chicken or any other type of animal that you might be fabricating. So I have this chicken. It's actually 4 pounds, 7 ounces, and I got it for $4.64. So you can just see right there that going to the store and getting boneless, skinless chicken breast will be more than $5. So really it is a bargain. I know it's a skill that you have to practice, but I'm gonna show you today how you can fabricate a chicken and hopefully practice yourself and be able to do it at home. So the first thing is that inside the cavity, which is the center of the chicken, is something called the giblets. And usually they give you, which right here is the gizzard, the intestines of the chicken, the heart, and also the lungs, and then the neck, but they didn't give us any neck in here. And what you use those for is for your stock. Some people cut them up and put it into their stuffing. Just adds flavor to whatever you're going to be making. So make sure you pull that out. Sometimes it'll be in a little plastic bag, but in this case it was just stuffed in the cavity. So this is my chicken here. This is actually the back side of the chicken. And this is the front where the breast is, where you'll see, but right now I'm going to first work on the wings. So right here you'll see the wings of the chicken, and I'm going to actually just take my boning knife and kind of just pierce it in the skin here. I'm not going to go all the way through. I'm going to give it just a little bit of pop where that it dislocates from the joint there. And if you're able to dislocate it, you should be able to just cut right through that, and it should be a clean cut. So I'm also going to do the same thing where I'm just going to pierce it here by the wing tip and cut right through the joint. And now I have, if you guys like buffalo wings, this would be the wing when you get buffalo wings. I actually kept the drumette attached here because I'm gonna show you a cut of chicken breast that has the drumette already attached there in a second. So I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other side. So I cut through the skin, not going all the way through, pop it out where the joint is attached, and I should be able to go straight through here. Let's see, pop it out. Okay, same thing, going to go through there. That wingtip came off good, so there's my wings. And then for this, now I'm going to, you can put this in the stock too, the wingtips. They don't really have any meat on them, so you don't want to really fry those up. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the breast, but I need to first detach the legs here. So if you can see, all I'm going to do is I'm going to do again, pierce the skin so I can see down to the chicken thighs. I'm not penetrating or going into the meat yet, and I'm gonna do that on both sides so that I can see where I'm going to go when I get my breast attached. So there's also some skin here that I'm just going to cut through. So now my legs and my breast are apart here. I'm going to make sure I dislocate those legs as well. So now it is very floppy here. And now I can focus on the breast of my chicken. So sometimes they'll have a lot of skin hanging and you can just cut through there. Okay, so for the breastbone runs right down the center of the chicken here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my knife right down the center and see which side starts to detach first. So it looks like my right side is going to start to come off first. So I'm going to just go all the way down nicely, giving it little cuts all the way through here till I can get it detached from the bottom. And now I'm going to be working my way up to the top of the chicken here. So you want to kind of get underneath the rib cage of the chicken, trying to get off as much meat as possible, because if you're working in a restaurant or something like that, that's where your money's at, right? You have to get as much yield as possible. So I'm going to come up here making little cuts. And remember, I kept that drumette on there, so I should just be able to find where that joint is right on the top and be able to cut right through. There shouldn't be resistance there if you cut through the joints. And now you can see I have a breast with the drumette attached. I'm gonna flip it over, and underneath every breast is a tenderloin. And I know my kids love chicken nuggets. So this is a tenderloin. You can buy these in the grocery store by themselves, fry them up, make chicken nuggets with them, or chicken tenders. So now I have my breast with the drumette attached. This is something called an airline breast. You can French the bone, and you can serve it with that attached, and it makes for a nice presentation. Or you can take off the drumette, and you would come right over here, make a little cut, making sure that I can detach it from that breast nicely, and I come right through. So now this looks like a little baby leg, but it's really part of the wing. So now we have both sets of fur buffalo wings, our drumette and our wing. So here is the breast. I'll go put that over here, and then I'll work on the other side. So coming down along, making little cuts down that breastbone. I want to detach it from the bottom, and then remember, I'm working my way up from the bottom to the top here, trying to work around that rib cage so that you don't get any of the ribs on the meat. If you do, that's okay. You could always clean it up afterwards. But I'm going to come up, find where that drumette attaches to the top there. And if you can feel it, you should be able to come right through and cut through there with no issues. Again, I have that attached, so my airline breast, flip it over, find the tenderloin, which is always right underneath there. This one came off really nicely. I'll put that there. So now I have my two breasts. I'll keep the drumette attached for an airline breast. You can always clean that up to make it look nicer. And the last thing that I have here is my legs and thighs. Okay, so you can take off some of this fat that's just hanging out on the bottom here. We don't really need any of that. You can just discard it. So right here in the back side of the chicken are called the oyster meat. Very tender, wonderful meat. It's almost like the butt cheeks of the chicken. You want to make sure that when you are cutting around those legs that you get inside that oyster and you get all of it out, because it's very, very tender and wonderful. So if you look, you can kind of see the outline of the oysters, two little circles there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my knife right around that. I can almost pop that out with just my hand in that oyster meat. And remember, I already dislocated the joints here of the chicken, so it should be no issue for me to just cut right through there. And now what I have is a quarter leg. So it's the thigh and the leg attached together. And it's a lot easier if you're practicing to take the skin off the chicken so you can see the natural grooves of where everything attaches to. But I can see by just flipping it over that this is where the thigh and the leg come together. Again, if you just dislocate that, you should be able to come through here and cut perfectly down the center. Okay, there should be no cutting through bones or anything. So now I have my thigh and my leg. And I can do the same thing over here. So remember, going around that oyster, that little round meat there, coming through and going right through the joint, because I already dislocated that earlier when I was working on the breast, so there should be no resistance. Again, coming through here, looking at the natural lining of that chicken and the leg, and now I have another thigh and another leg. So look at all of this meat that you're getting out of one chicken. So I could cut these in half and that would be great dinner. You could do something with your thighs, your legs, buffalo wings. I mean, so much. Such an important skill to learn. Yes, it's going to take you some time, but I promise it's going to save you money in the long run. So learning how to fabricate a chicken is a little bit of skill involved, but after you do it a couple of times and you get some practice down, you'll be a wonderful chicken fabricator in no time. All right, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video.